Hello everyone, this is Mr. Elliott, and today's tool that we're going to be featuring is called Kahoot. Kahoot is an online quiz web tool that involves a very competitive nature, so we'll look into that as we go through. So for the time being, go ahead and go to getkahoot.com. It should appear to this website where we see these young men here getting really excited about getting the question correct and where they've ended up on the Kahoot. So that'll make a little more sense as we go through. So you have a couple different options. You can either sign in if you already have an account, or you can sign up for free. I'm going to go ahead and sign in since I already have an account. And here's your basic dashboard when it comes to Kahoot. So you'll see, here it tells you the different types of Kahoot you can have. You can have a quiz, a discussion, or a survey. It tells you different stats over here on the right-hand side. You also have a downloadable PDF to talk about getting the best out of Kahoots and creating one. Up here to the left-hand side, I'd like to point out, right, the new Kahoot, you can go ahead and this gets you right into it as you start going. My Kahoots will show you ones that you've already created, ones that you may have favorited. Um, so if you click on that, it'll show you all that different type of information. The nice feature about Kahoot, though, is this right here, this public Kahoots option. So you'll notice that there are several of them out there for you to choose from. So you click on Public Kahoots, it takes you to basically a repository, um, and you can go ahead and type in a title one if somebody already told you, a subject, whatever it was. You'll see that you have different audiences that you can choose from, and the different types of Kahoots that are available to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and select this, or look at this very first one about light lenses and refraction. So if I want to play it right from here, I can go ahead and play it. If I want to save it for later so I can come back and look at it, I can. If I want to share with others, I can go ahead and do that as well right from here. But what I'm going to do right now is, so I'm looking at this one. All right, I see it. Looks pretty nice. I see all the different questions, the different answer choices. It's something that I think that I could use. So I'm going to go ahead and go back, and I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it. So what that does is that gives me a duplicate of this in my Kahoots. So what I can do from there is I can go ahead and continue editing. So what it does is it takes me to your basic start for any Kahoot that you create. So here you'll see you have your question options. One situation that I've run into with the questions is that there is a character limit when it comes to the questions when you type it in there. However, great workaround for that I found is, let's say you've got that question already typed up somewhere, you're looking at it somewhere else on a PDF. If you go ahead and use your snipping tool or some screenshot tool that you have, and you go ahead and take a screenshot of that, or you snip that question, you save it as an image, you do have the option here to upload that as an image in there. So you can kind of circumvent that limitation of the question or the character amount for the question by putting in an image of the actual question. Down here at the bottom, we look at our answer choices. So you'll notice right away that we start off with 4. What I can do is, if I want to eliminate some, I simply click that minus, and then when that goes away, there'll be a plus. So I can add up to 4 answer choices. 4 is the maximum that you can have, and you'll see why when you start playing. There are only 4 shapes or answer choices once we get there. There's also a character limitation for your answer choices. So again, something that you'll want to look at. If you had a whole entire question with answer choices put in here as an image, you could simply say question 1 and then A, B, C, or D in here as you go through. So again, different workarounds. It may seem limiting at first, but if you just play around with it, or if you really invest some time in it, you can see that there are workarounds for this, just like there are for many tools. A nice feature about this is if I want to have 2 answer choices correct, I can go ahead and do that. I could have them all correct if I wanted. And again, allows you that opportunity or option if you want to have multiple correct answers within one. So the one main feature about Kahoot that I'd like to point out is that it is a timed competitive game. So here you'll see the time limit options you have for questions. So this one's 10 seconds. You can go all the way up to 120 seconds if you want. So the way Kahoot works is, right, this question will be presented to the students, and it'll start the timer down right away. And the quicker the students answer, the more points they get. However, if they answer, if they're the first one to answer and they get it incorrect, they get 0 points. So it kind of rewards those students who, are quick thinkers and get all that kind of stuff. That's one reason why I probably steer clear of using this as a summative assessment type tool, right? I probably wouldn't apply a grade to many of the Kahoots that I would put out there, simply because you are making it more game-like, and you are also putting a time limit requirement on it, and not all students work well in that limitation. But definitely to introduce a subject, review a topic, review stuff from the week that you dealt with before, whatever it is, definitely something as a formative assessment tool. It's great because it's extremely engaging for students. That competitive nature, that competitive side definitely comes out, gets them really engaged in this activity. So, a nice feature about this as well is that we do have the opportunity to duplicate, the question. So if I wanted to make sure that I kept the same answer choices, but I just want to change the question, I can go ahead and duplicate it, and then going from there allows us to, kind of save a little bit of time as far as creating those. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of that without saving. I'm going to go back to public Kahoots, and we're going to go ahead and actually play a Kahoot or see what it looks like being played. So I'm just going to go right from here, play this one. So when you launch the game, you get ready to launch it, there will be a pin that is shown to the students, and you'll see exactly what that looks like. And you have the option here, all these different settings. Do I want to show that throughout? Maybe a good idea if kids get kicked out, or someone is absent or coming in late, whatever it is. Maybe a good idea just to keep that pin showing throughout the game. Randomize the order of the questions if you want to. If you want to switch it up, randomize order of answers, do that as well. Playing music while waiting, kids always love that in the classroom. And then here we have some other advanced options as far as the Kahoots go. So you can automatically move through questions. Again, I would probably use this if I was just introducing a topic and not really wanting to go over each one. But if I was reviewing, I probably would keep this on off. Simply for the fact that I would want to stop after each one and maybe review some of the ones that they, majority of the class missed or struggled with. And then the other two kind of, I've never really dealt with or had come into play, but that first one about automatically moving through, definitely something you may want to consider. So I'm going to go ahead and launch this game. And I'm going to go ahead and open up a new tab in a different window that you can't see right now. And I'm going to follow the directions up here at the top where it says kahoot.it and gives me the game pin. So I'm going to type that in. And it's going to ask me for the game pin. I'll type that in. So here I am in the game. So you'll notice as I hover over my name, and there is that music in the background, maybe annoying to some, maybe soothing to others, but it's there if you want to turn that off. Like I said, in the options you have the option to turn that off. You'll notice as I hover over my name, though, that it kind of strikes it through and it gives me the no sign. So you may have some of those students in your class that want to be silly or distracting to others, so they may put something inappropriate or goofy there. You do have the option to click on their name and it kicks them out, and then they have to sign back in. So definitely something to consider when it comes to that concern, if you do have that concern, as far as some of the students that you have in your class. So I'm the only one in this Kahoot. I'm going to go ahead and click Start. And you notice here I have my image right at the beginning. Here's the first question. Which type of wave propagates fastest in a vacuum? So again, I got that one incorrect. As you can see, that was the only one I answered radio wave. The correct answer was all travel equally fast. So, let's say a majority of the students missed this one. I can go ahead and show the image, and talk about all that kind of stuff. Definitely looking at the image that I had, if that's important to what's going on, I can review it if I need to. I can go ahead and click next, and there I am with my sad little zero. For a class, it shows the top 5. It shows the students on their devices where they are, right, what place they're in at that point in time. Another thing that I'd like to point out about this is that you do have the ability to play this on multiple devices. So, a phone, a tablet, an iPad, Chromebooks, laptops, whatever you have in your school, it is available on multiple platforms. So you do have that luxury when it comes to it. So, if you're worried about, each student having a device, if you have BYOT in your school, if they have their phones, they can go ahead and install the Kahoot app, and then they have access to it at that point in time. So rather than go to the next question like I normally would, I'm going to go ahead and end the quiz to show you exactly what are some features at the end that might be useful to you. So I can ask the students for feedback results. And then I'm going to give it a sad face, right, because I didn't get any points. And a lot of times I've seen this happen with students in class where they'll, maybe give it a thumbs down or one of these other two faces over here just because, they didn't win or whatever the situation was, not because they weren't engaged or didn't like the tool. It's more of that competitive nature coming through. So I'll show final results. This would give me those final results of, where the leaders were. So 2 things I'd like to point out at this point in time on the final scoreboard is this option for ghost mode. So for those gamers out there that remember some of the racing games, this ghost mode basically allows you to compete against yourself to see if you can get a higher score than you did the last time. So multiple uses there as far as pre-test, post-test kind of things. You introduce it at the beginning, didn't go over it, then, at the end, we see the exact same questions, see if they can answer them a little bit quicker and get a higher score. I also have the option here to save my results. So I can either download it as an Excel spreadsheet or I can save it directly to Drive if I want it. So again, while, like I said before, probably wouldn't recommend using this as a summative assessment, at least one that you wouldn't, I wouldn't give a grade to these. However, definitely that formative assessment data to have to see where students are before and after allows you to have that, especially being in a data-driven mentality as education is nowadays. So that's pretty much Kahoot in a nutshell. I hope you enjoy this. I look forward to hearing from how you use this in your classroom and the opportunity to stop by and see exactly how it goes. Thank you.